How language is used to control perception. Words do more than describe reality. They shape it. Before people see the world, they hear it explained. Before opinions form, language prepares the ground. This documentary explores how language is used to control perception, how words, framing, and narratives quietly influence what societies accept as truth. Language as a filter of reality. Human beings do not experience reality directly. They interpret it. Language acts as a filter between the world and the mind. It selects, organizes, and prioritizes information. The same event can appear threatening or harmless, moral or immoral, depending on how it is described. Language does not merely reflect reality, it constructs meaning. This is why control over language has always meant influence over thought. Words are never neutral. Every word carries weight. Some words soften reality. Others sharpen it. Consider how different terms frame the same concept. Collateral damage instead of civilian deaths. Enhanced interrogation instead of torture. Economic adjustment instead of hardship. The facts may remain unchanged, but perception shifts dramatically. Language does not lie by inventing reality. It lies by selecting how reality is presented. Framing. How context changes meaning. Framing is the psychological process through which information is presented within a specific context. The human mind rarely evaluates raw data. It responds to interpretation. When a problem is framed as a threat, people seek security. When framed as an opportunity, they accept risk. When framed as inevitable, resistance fades. Framing influences emotional response before logical analysis begins. The power of narratives. Humans think in stories. Narratives provide structure, cause, and purpose. They explain who is right, who is wrong, and what must be done. Effective narratives reduce complexity into moral clarity. They create heroes, victims, and villains. Once a narrative is accepted, new information is interpreted through it. Contradictions are ignored. Details are adjusted to fit the story. Narratives do not demand obedience. They invite belief. US versus them language. One of the most powerful linguistic tools is division. Language that separates us from them simplifies social reality. It strengthens group identity and reduces empathy for outsiders. Terms like they, those people, or enemies distance the subject emotionally. Individual faces disappear. Complexity dissolves. This form of language does not require aggression. It normalizes it. Emotional triggers in language. Certain words activate emotional responses instantly. Fear-based language narrows attention. Urgent language reduces deliberation. Moral language pressures conformity. When emotion is activated, critical thinking slows. The brain prioritizes reaction over reflection. Language becomes a shortcut to behavior. Repetition and normalization. Repetition is not accidental. Repeated phrases become familiar. Familiar ideas feel true. When language is repeated across media, institutions, and daily conversation, it becomes invisible. People stop questioning it. This process does not convince. It conditions. Language becomes the background noise of thought. Modern media and linguistic influence. In modern societies, language moves faster than reflection. Headlines compress complexity into emotionally charged phrases. Speed replaces nuance. Social platforms reward clarity over accuracy. Short statements outperform careful explanations. In this environment, framing becomes more powerful than facts. Perception solidifies before verification begins. What is known and what remains unclear. Research in linguistics, psychology, and neuroscience confirms that language influences perception, memory, and judgment. What remains less clear is the limit of this influence. Some individuals resist linguistic framing more effectively. Others internalize it deeply. Factors such as emotional regulation, education, and tolerance for ambiguity appear to matter, but no one is fully immune. Language works best when unnoticed. Becoming aware without paranoia. Awareness is not rejection of language. It is attentiveness to it. Not every word is manipulation. Not every narrative is control. But recognizing framing, emotional triggers, and selective language restores choice. The goal is not distrust. It is discernment. Final reflection and call to action. Language shapes perception because it shapes meaning. The words we hear define the questions we ask and the answers we accept. If this documentary expanded your perspective, consider supporting Interesting Mind Hub by liking this video and subscribing for future explorations into the hidden forces shaping human thought. Thank you for watching. And remember, how something is said often matters as much as what is said.